very famous case, and Michael Devlin. So tell us how you came across Michael Devlin that day.
Yeah, he was the one guilty of this shit. Horrific. I mean, just. But anyway, so I had left mobile. Sadly, Pearl and I had both left mobile. I went to the FBI task force, and Pearl went somewhere else.
Went to DEA.
Yeah, DEA. I knew that. That was just. Oh yeah. So our first night, or one of our first weeks there, Pearl and I meet up at Lafayette and 14th Street. And it's night. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and I pull out my FBI credential, and he pulls out his DEA. We both look at each other. We're like, who would have thought we'd be in charge of closing up DEA and FBI by ourselves?
Yes.
Yeah, so we took a picture of us with our credentials. Nobody ever believed it. Wait. So this young Shawn
Ben
Ownby was abducted right out by my place in the country, about 10, 15 miles past it on Highway 50, going through Union to Buford. And they had a witness that saw a little white pickup truck drive onto this gravel road, grab the poor kid, and then he turned around, but he backed. The story was that he backed up into the ditch on this gravel road, and then took off back onto the main highway. So they set up a command post in Franklin County at the sheriff's office. So me and the guy I was riding with, we're picking up leads, pulling out leads from call-ins or wherever they're getting the leads, and we'd go check them out, blah blah blah. So we were running all over Franklin County, and they were sending us home for the night, or we were done, and I'm looking at the leads, and I find one, a little white pickup truck parked behind the Emo's Pizza in downtown Kirkwood, it's still there on Lindbergh. I'm like, well, let's check this one out on the way home. So we get off, 44 to Lindbergh North, and then there's a parking lot. There's just street parking in front of Emo's. There's a parking lot behind it, so we drive back behind there. And I get out, and there's a little white pickup truck, but it's got a trailer 2-inch receiver on the back. No hitch in it, or no hitch on the back. And I look at the thing, and it's got red mud in it. I'm like, well, that's the truck. It's got red mud in it. Because there's no red mud, and there's red mud out in the country by my place.
You know there's red mud out there.
There's red mud. I'm like, that's the truck. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to go in and see who this guy is. So I asked some kid, hey, who owns that white truck? He goes, oh, it's the manager. It's Mike down there. And it was dinner time, so they're busy. And I'm like, hey, Mike. Yeah, what's up? And I think I had camouflage on, I don't know, blue jeans and a hoodie. And I show him my FBI credentials, and I'm like, hey, dude, is that your white truck out there? He goes, yeah. Order 43. And I'm like, oh, hey, we need to talk a little bit. He goes, oh, just a minute. Well, in the meantime, my partner had some weird brand tires on it, too. And he had called that in or matched up the tire imprints from the scene, and it was the same weird off-brand tires. But then he called the FBI and said, hey, here's what we got. So I continued to babysit Michael inside and ask him a few odd questions here and there while he's handing out orders. I mean, he's got to know the gig's up.
Right.
He's got
this guy ain't leaving.
Yeah.
This ain't good.
This ain't good.
A lot of people got the wrong pizza that night.
Yeah. He ordered himself a little to-go meal. But anyway, a car pulls up from the FBI, and my partner comes out. He goes, hey, let's walk him outside. The FBI's here. So, we walk him out, and they put him in the back of the cuffed him. I think they cuffed him. It doesn't matter. But they put him in the back of the car, and that was it.
And then you were done.
Then I was done. Yeah,
That was it for.
Well, I went over to the scene. I went over. He lived in the neighborhood, some apartment complex. So by the time we got over there, there was a ton of
Yeah.
coppers over there already.
We're officially cut out of this thing.
Yeah, we're done.
Did you
They
get
kind of herded you out.
How
Oh,
long-
yeah.
Was a search warrant typed up then, or for this house, or they? You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
No,
I'm sure. I mean, if
had
the
it, yeah.
FBI was on
Right,
it,
right.
they did everything.
Right, right.
And the thing, the best is that, and when Jerry Lachenicht tells us that John Winter caught this guy, and we're like, no, he didn't. I mean, we've known this guy for 25 years. He ain't never told us this shit. And how? Why did he never tell anybody?
Well, what's there to tell? I mean,
If I locked up Michael Devlin,
I had the guy, and
I'm
then the
telling you.
FBI got him, so I'm out.
telling you right now, if that would have been me, everybody would have known that Sawyer grabbed that.
He would have been on Oprah.
well,
No, I wouldn't have been on
Okay.
Oprah, but they would have known Sawyer grabbed that motherfucker.
Hey, I'd have handcuffed myself right to him.
I would take the selfie.
Wherever
I
I,
got
go,
this
he's
bitch.
going.
but trying to, when I looked at,
This is my car.
I looked up Michael Devlin before I came on here, and then I pulled up Wikipedia, and it doesn't say anything about the emos thing at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Like,
Cut you out of the whole thing. Huh?
Everybody looks up Michael Devlin, and Wikipedia is it's going to say, "Oh, JW was lying." And I'm like, "What do I got to
If
lie
I
about?"
remember correctly, the story went that the emos workers called it in. Back in the day, I didn't look it up.
I have no idea where the tip came from. We just picked up this thing. I'm like, "Oh, it's on the way home. Let's look it up."
But then when they tell the story, they don't tell nothing about you going there. They just said the tip
Because
came from emos.
I guarantee you there was no other policeman there.
They heard how you testified in court.
What's that?
They said they,
Well-
they heard how you testified.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then the other guy didn't take it so mildly, did he?
No.
What did he do?
No.
What did he do? He
So, I
wanted
mean,
to be on Oprah, didn't he?
Like it's.
The guy that was with you, he wanted to be
Yeah.
on Oprah. Yeah, he did.
He wrote this big letter to our supervisor at the FBI, which Walt, and he was, what a good dude this guy was. But the guy I was with was a task force officer from the county. That says enough there.
Oh,
But
We're not. Hey, now we already got a beef going, Candyland. We don't need
I
any
didn't
more
mean
beef,
that. I'm
dude.
joking.
I didn't say shit
No more
about that.
beefs.
I love it.
okay, cut that part out.
No, it's all good.
But he wrote a letter to our FBI supervisor about what we did at the emos and how we were in. This is a couple weeks after, because
It's all over.
it might not have been whatever. It was Kirkwood, I think. I don't know.
Yes.
They were on along with the FBI agents? I think they were all got to go on Oprah.
Right.
Right.
And he was pissed that he didn't get to go on Oprah. And so Walt shows me this letter, and I look at, I'm like, a deer in the headlights. I said, Walt, I know nothing about this. I could care less about this. I don't want to be anywhere near it. He goes, I know you didn't write it. And then the guy was gone the next day.
Well, I will say, in their defense, I mean, they should have mentioned it, obviously, how it all went down. But there was other people that had to do a lot of legwork and investigations on that, as far as tying that whole case together.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I didn't do any of that. I'm like, oh, there's some red mud.
But I'm telling you,
The Hoosier in me comes out.
but I'm still telling you, I'd have made sure everybody knew that Sawyer had something to do with that motherfucker. I'd have been texting people, hey, it's me and Michael Devlin. I got that bitch.
Selfies.
What have.
With my BlackBerry.
On a side note with Devlin, talking to Mikey Mueller today, our good buddy Brian Dolan
Yeah.
beat him up in high school, or in grade school. Grade school.
And then is that why you
Yeah,
turned into a complete
a
fucking
pedophile? Yeah, maybe.